Righto.
Snowy tomorrow.
To try and beat
Chris, the main competition.
it's Jesse Coyle.
What am I going to do? Beloka?
I can't see a massive gap.
He's with me at the turnaround.
It's game on.
It's game on, ladies and gentlemen. It's the Snowy Classic, 170 Ks, 3,000 metres of climbing. All right, and we're trying to beat the hell out of each other, Jesse Coyle.
Geez, the starts are always freaking awkward, aren't they? You roll out, everyone's looking around. We're rolling hard, we're rolling easy. Took a while to figure this one out, didn't it? Got to get the group rolling. Get the boys
Well,
rolling.
you see, this is an interesting one because you do kind of climb pretty much straight out of Jindabyne. So can I just quickly set the scene? Obviously, we've got the weather and all that kind of stuff. This is a big mass participation event, but we are trying to beat each other here. Like, there's nothing else going on in our worlds, right? So what are you up to here?
Oh, it's a full-on race. You always noodle out, and then we turn onto this road, and the funny thing was there was this police escort motorbike tantalizingly sitting about 10 meters in front of the bunch. So I kind of was looking, I was going, I'm kind of in the draft here, got a nice little tailwind, so I just sort of
This kept
opened
happening.
the throttle for
Yeah.
a bit. Yeah, because you'd get stuck in the draft, and I'm thinking, so I basically want to have you doing as much work as possible before we hit the climbs about 80k in. So I'm thinking here, if I can just get Chris sitting above zone 3 for a couple of minutes, burning through his glycogen a little bit, it's going to be advantage Coil. So yeah, I'm just putting the squeeze on a little bit here.
And it seriously works because, you know, guys are sort of dropping a wheel because they don't want to work with you. And then, yeah, I'm sort of having to cover it because I'm not letting you go. All right, let's get into it. Here we are. The first climb, we're approximately 90k, 85k's in.
The motorbike's still there, by the way. You can see him. Full lead into the bottom. This Beloka, what is it? 12-minute effort? 11-minute effort?
12-minute effort. This thing's a wall. I mean, I got interviewed on the start line before this, and they're like, "Oh, any tips for Beloka?" And I'm like, "Just get up the fucking thing." Like, it is horrendous, absolutely horrendous. I did this last year with the 53.39 on, and I was toasting myself. You think that's what you were running this year? What was your gearing looking like?
Yeah, my smallest gear's 39.28. So I'm fully grinding. Like you can see, I'm just... There's only one speed going up here. So at the bottom, actually, I put the lap time on and hit a lap at the bottom. So this is the start of the demise of Chris and the rise of Coil through fueling. So hit the lap at the bottom, and I'm on beta fuel gel every 20 minutes. Literally. All I'm doing from here is staring at the clock. And this is the year.
This is Jesse's camera, obviously out the back. Mine's the front-facing camera. And what you'll see is, like, we're just going up this outrageously steep, horrific thing. And, like, as you said, like, you've already kind of put me in the box. But, okay, I need to talk about this. My theory here is I can't let you go solo. Like, I just can't let you go. I actually know that I won't be able to catch you. If you top that climb out by yourself, there's no way I'm going to be able to catch you. So I'm mentally setting myself here. I'm going to go as deep as I physically can to hold your wheel up this, because there is no way in hell I can catch you if you top this climb out.
Mm-hmm. Well, I'm thinking I don't necessarily want to go solo, but I want to make you burn through as much energy as you possibly can going up here. So I'm pretty much going as hard as I can too, with the idea that if I'm on a slightly better day, that's putting me at a relative advantage. So I think both of us here is just go as absolutely as hard as we can, which is what we did.
Did you hear me then? I said something like, it's just the two of us. And, like, I say that, and the reason I said that is I thought, oh, if he knows it's already just the two of us, he might back off.
You fucked
so I'm
up
thinking,
there. You know what that did to me? It gave me like an extra 15 watts of power, because I'm like, I can hear you breathing, and you're like, oh, we got a gap here, and I'm like, oh, Chris wants me to ease up. Okay. Yep. And so you can tell straight away as soon as you said that. It was brilliant. Thanks for that, by the way.
This is like the middle patch of the climb, which sort of fast forwarded a little bit, and it does kind of flatten out a little bit here. And I noticed this was almost the only time you got out of the saddle, and this is where you really hurt me on these kind of flatter sections.
Yeah, so keeping the pace up here. I mean, by flatten out, it flattens out to like 7%, so it's not exactly flat. But yeah, just trying to keep the speed up here, and I also don't want you to get a nice 2-minute breather leading to the second half, because I just want to keep the throttle open. Plus, I could hear you heavy breathing. Heavy breathing.
Oh yeah. No, I'm already. I mean, I wish I sort of. There's no pig rooting yet, but the pig will definitely appear. So just on the top right hand corner, you can kind of see the gradient or the elevation profile of this particular segment. You kind of see we're on that sort of middle-ish section. So mentally, like I'd set myself, okay, I'm going to go super, super deep up this, but in the last like 300 or 400 meters, I'm not going to go absolutely completely red line, because I knew that if you only had that sort of period or that gap, then you know I'm not going to lose you, basically.
Well, the other thing as
and
well,
this,
I think I did get a gap here, only maybe 10 or 15 seconds. But the other thing in the back of my mind was I don't want to go off on my own and then 6 guys catch you and you're getting a free ride to the bottom of the next climb in a group, and I'm out there on my own. So even going solo here doesn't really work for me. I'm essentially just trying to bait you into going as hard as you can, but not necessarily wanting to drop you fully yet. Because, there's always the pack dynamic if people catch you from behind.
And just on that, there was we'll talk about this as it goes along, but there was a body coming around that corner there not that long ago, or in that last shot. So this isn't completely just the two of us at this stage. Awesome ride from that fella, by the way.
Yeah, that was Nigel. I actually coached him. So it was Nero coaching 1, 2, 3 here. He had a great ride. So he's flying. He's within eye shot of it. I think I turned around. I thought, he's almost going to catch us here, and we're going to be a group of 3. You can see him just the back there.
Yeah.
And I think I did like 400 watts up here, like going really hard. So I mean, the camera foreshortens it, but yeah, it's not like we just totally rode away. He was within 10 seconds of joining us over here.
And this is sort of cresting it out. It's that last big long left-hander. And as you said, Jesse, 12-minute effort. That's the breakdown of my particular effort up there. Mm-hmm. And I think you were around 400 watts. Is that about right?
Yeah, about 400. I think your power meter's overreading, by the way.
We're going to need to talk about that. Okay. Yes, the Shimano power meter, power estimator there. And that's really... So
we've just ridden past the feed zone 2. No stopping at the feed zone. Straight through.
There's the look from Coil. And I got to say, that's demoralizing, right? So you kind of saw what my face looked like. And then he kind of gave me the look around of like, yeah, come on, let's go. Right. So at this point, I'm going to be honest with you, Jesse. Mm-hmm. I was going to try and delay you. I was really not going to offer you much in the way of turns. I was more than happy for a whole group of guys to sort of come back across to us. So you'll see lots of this in this middle section. And there's like, what do you reckon, 30 Ks between Beloka and the bottom of Perisher?
Yeah, about that. It's just under an hour, I think. 45 minutes. Yep. So around that.
So
I'm like full race mode. I lose all sight of anything. So I'm just like, let's go, let's freaking go. We got a gap. I just can't help but just treat everything like a full-on race. So I'm just pretty much keeping the throttle down and staring at my clock. See, the clock started. I'm waiting for that next 20 minutes to tick over so I can have a gel. So
that's interesting. You are literally, you have the lap counter going, and in that you have your nutrition sort of plan, quote unquote, based on that lap marker.
Yep. Beta fuel gels, 40 grams of carbs. The only thing I'm looking at on my on my head unit is the clock, the lap time. Yep.
The reason I wanted to show this was another tactic I used. So I gave Jesse the old, I need to, we've got the video to shoot here, mate. Come on, YouTubers, all the rest of it. Ease up. I've got to change the GoPro battery here. So you're there going, Jesus, come on, like, what are we at here? Is this friggin' bloody playtime? And I'm there just trying to get a bit of a rest on. Yes, I am actually changing the GoPro battery. I am doing what I said I was doing, but this is just another little tactic to try and hope maybe a group comes back across, or I get more time.
It's a smart move from you, because on a flat or rolling section, I have a relative advantage. If we're pulling relatively equal turns, I'm heavier. So I'm quite happy to roll 1 minute, 1 minute, 1 minute with you, swapping off, because it's going to be advantage coil on the flatter section.
So do you want to run us into this? Because a group did sort of come in close to us. Like there was a group sort of not that far behind. I was more than happy to see them. And I reckon it almost worked against me, because it kind of fired you up a bit. Like, so this is an hour climb, right? So we're at the base of Thredbo, big hour-long climb. what's your mindset going into this?
So I already knew power-wise I was stronger than you on Beloka, which I thought you might drop me on Beloka before we started the day. I had no clue how I was going to go. So I was pretty happy going up Beloka with your heavy breathing. So hitting here, I know by now we're pretty far in. You've already done a lot of work. I'm very, very confident in my fueling plan. And now I'm just basically trying to ride as hard as possible just to try and wear your fuel tank down and see if I can get a gap. Essentially
I didn't
plan.
see this coming, mate. I did
No?
not see this coming. Well, you've put me into thresholds really in the very early slopes of this. And you can see in the top left, that's the full elevation profile of the whole thing. And probably like, just over 2/3 of the way up, you see there's that drop down. Mm-hmm. And that's kind of... I know that if I can hang on to that period, you're not going to be able to get rid of me because those last set of bumps, I got a good feeling about it. But you just
so the other advantage
the pressure on.
The other advantage I've got is because I know I was looking at my power up Beloka. I know it was about 400, so I knew as soon as I was holding above 380 that you were probably going to blow soon. So on any of these steeper sections, I was just sitting on 380 because I knew that was not a sustainable pace for you, given the power we just did up Beloka. By the way, I am absolutely pinging here. So I was having every third gel, I was having the beta full nootropic, which is 200 milligrams of caffeine. So by now, I'm I think 400 or 600 milligrams of caffeine deep. So I'm feeling $1,000,000. I am absolutely flying.
So I actually tried no dose going into this because I forgot all caffeine gel. So I tried no dose and it did nothing for me. I got no kick from it. I really, I have to say it's not something I'm going to try again. And your caffeine plan is, I think, I'm not going to say it's the reason you get rid of me, spoiler alert, but was far more beneficial. No two ways about it.
Oh, it hits big time, especially when you take proper doses. Not a shitty little 1 or 2 70-milligram one. We're talking big, proper doses. I'm feeling amazing. Now I actually pay for it the second half of this climb because another spoiler alert. I do actually almost completely blow up in the second half. But
So
this first
okay,
half,
here's one for you. Should I have tried to roll through here and sat on the front?
That's the other thing. So you need to know me. You know I like riding on the front. So when I'm on the front, the ego's ticking over. I'm feeling good. I hate being in the wheel. If you had come over and done a bit of a dummy turn, I probably wouldn't have had the confidence to get the gap on you. So yes, you should have pulled a turn here as a mental game. Definitely.
Yeah, like.
But the other thing as well, the problem I had with the beta fuel gels is because they're 40 grams every 20 minutes. So I actually think it's too big a dose. You're only having one gel every 20 minutes. I actually prefer the fluids, just so you can sip every 5 or 10 minutes. Didn't really like the.
Had you had any caffeine before you hit that lap marker, or you saved it really to the back end?
So I didn't have a single bit of caffeine until I hit that lap marker at the bottom of the previous climb at Beloka. And then from there
I do want to point out at this moment, I do feel like this is where the power meter is seriously overreading, and this is where it's actually really annoying. I had to turn it off because it's a super, like, it's not good when you're sitting on someone's wheel, you're suffering, and you're looking down and seeing big numbers. You're like, holy shit, this is not good. Now here we go, ladies and gentlemen. We've talked about the pig route. Well, here she comes.
So this is the toll gates, isn't it? Flattens off a little bit.
Yeah.
Here.
Yeah, this is the flatten off period. I think I even try and talk to you at this point.
The other thing I have in my head is that at the second half of this climb, you've got all these dippers, and they're quite steep. Like I'll hit 60, 70k an hour on those dippers. So I know if I can even have even the smallest gap by then, it's a massive advantage on me because I probably go about 10k an hour faster on any of the downhills because I'm way heavier. So I was trying to just gap you any tiny little gap before then.
Okay, so I can remember this, and I'm thinking at this point, oh no, I can't hold this. But what I'm not going to do is redline myself because I had this feeling, and this comes back to, I think, to my original plan, is, okay, I'm going too hard, I can't hold this, but I'm not going to blow, right? My whole thinking now is don't blow because he can't do this. Like, he can't. Surely he can't keep doing this. So I am
I think
going to...
I think that
not-
was a bad call, though. I think that was a bad
Yeah.
call. Because as soon as we hit that first downhill, you're done. Because you're losing ground. I think you should have just gone all for nothing. I probably would have given up in 2 minutes if you were still on my wheel. Like, because I did. Because I don't ride away. Like, I'm just sitting just there. I'm just there. Like, yeah.
So do you know you've dropped me now?
Yeah.
And because you look at your power now goes up to 400 watts. You're like, fuck yeah, I've got rid of him. And you put this gap into me really, really quickly. But then, like you said, it completely holds because I don't blow. I'm not going to blow up here. And yeah, there's a lot on the line. There is a lot on the line. And
Yeah, I think you should have gone for it because as soon as we pressed for the first descent, it's kind of game over. Plus, as well, not gonna lie, that lead vehicle and the motorbike, I was getting a bit of help on some of those downhills, which also made the problem worse for you. Not gonna lie. The brutal spot here. Where are we now? Oh, yep.
Yeah, so this is one of these rollers further on, and you'll see the effort comparison there, where you get that gap initially, like it goes straight out to 30 seconds, and it pretty much just holds completely at that one side. You can almost see that little dot up there in front, and that's the full climb breakdown. It's just under an hour.
I was turning
and you were
around.
about
I could
30
see
seconds faster.
I could see a shadow coming through the mist on those last rises. You almost had me.
I can remember at the top thinking, all right, I'm actually a better descender than Jesse. I reckon I can run him down. You put 3 minutes into me on the descent. 3 minutes. Like, yeah. Just,
You are a better descender.
I mean,
the problem is for you, this is the least technical descent you could ever do. I'm just boppering my way down on the top tube at 80k an hour. If there was corners in this, you'd probably have a point. But yes, unfortunately for you, this is a very easy descent. So advantage coil, especially with that lead vehicle, bit of love from them too. So what would you do differently? 2 things, or 3 things. Stick with me. Perish, like blow yourself, because you know if I get a gap there, you're done. So I reckon risk it for the biscuit on Perisher. More caffeine. You should have been pumping more than that 1 or 2 nodos you had. I think your fueling was probably okay, but I don't know. Probably look at the fueling too.
I think you were just stronger. I mean, that's the sort of longer way around it. But I will sort of say that the way you'd actually structured your fueling into almost segments of the event, and you knew then exactly what you were doing, was something that we talked about not long after this, and it's certainly something that I've taken with me into my racing since, which has been super, super beneficial. It's funny, like when we were on the drive down, we had this chat about like what happens if it's sort of just you and me. Like, do you want to do like the full, like, I don't know, Jumbo Visma hands over the line, finish line? And I could see you, like that's not the way you see things, is it?
I'm like, what are you on about? If it's just me and you, I'm going to ride the hardest I've ever ridden to try and get rid of you. Like, what planet are you on, Chris?
I think I need a bit more mongrel. I think I need a bit more mongrel in that situation. Does beating your mate mean more than anything else in this world? All right, Jesse, I'll live to fight another day. Thank you for your time today.
No worries.
And I'll see you at Barrel. I think might be the next one.
Barrel.
We'll see.